Hey guys, just finished watching Arrow Season 6, Episode 13, The Devil's Greatest Trick. This episode was really interesting. It was really cool seeing the different things and all the finales that really happened with this. And it was a interesting finale, the way they went off on it. Since we're not going to have any episodes for the next 2 weeks, we're not going to get back to this until to the beginning of March 1st actually. So that's going to be fun to get back to that and go back to that storyline with it. The first part was pretty cool, again with Kid and James dealing with the bomb storyline. He gave Oliver 4 hours to wrangle up everyone and bring them to him to prove that he's, to finish the bomb and all that stuff. The Kid and James has a flashback to his Helix stuff. We get a flashback to that throughout the whole season, whole episode, even to the episode to the end, which is when he finds out that his son is dead and all that stuff. That was very interesting with that. It was really cool early on in getting that Flash cameo, where Flash kind of they used the Flash to get Oliver and Diggle in front of Kid and James just before he's escaping by a car and stuff. That was really cool with that. Hopefully we get a teaser of that connects with that over on the Flash. Maybe he gets a message from Oliver or something like that. He's like, oh, can I in an address type thing. And he just texts him an address, and he's like on it, and he just kind of location type thing, and he just instantly moves in there. Oh, it's gonna do something, just a sec, boom, and they're like, oh, where'd you go? And they're like, oh, just got to go help Oliver for a sec. Something about a bomb going off in the city, type thing. I think that would be cool just to see that going on. Although I find it weird that we have this cameo of Flash kind of on here. We didn't even see him. We just saw the lightning, really, which is kind of cool. We had this, although it could be Kid Flash, we don't know that, but it's most likely Barry. It doesn't seem like, Oliver wouldn't have Kid Flash's number, most likely would have Barry's number, although he might have Kid Flash's number as a backup emergency. But it is cool seeing that cameo. Still is disappointing that we never got anything of that Barry was in prison. Now it's too late. Barry's out of prison, and it's just kind of like, okay, there was no mentioning, no nothing. Oliver never heard about it. Nothing at all. I think that's kind of disappointing. It's kind of annoying that they didn't do that. Not even a mention, not even a little teaser, just kind of like, oh, I mean, it could be something, a little thing that goes, really, he's in prison? And that could get someone to go over to Flash to start watching. Someone who's only watching Arrow to go start watching Flash and figuring out what that is all about, type thing. I don't know. It would be cool to do that. Someone who's left Flash and left for some reason, and then come and staying just watching Arrow, or not caught up yet, and just kind of, oh, what, he's in prison? You gotta get back, hurry up and get back and caught up, type of thing. So I don't know why they don't do that. They don't have that on here. I guess it's too late now because he's out of prison, but it's disappointing that we never got that. Then we get the Oliver and Kate, and Oliver shows Kate in the video, shows him the real video and how he was doctored. It was doctored, and we find out later on who it is, that it was Richard Dragon who made it, who had made the video. And then Kate and James has Oliver kind of round up all the 3 guys: Richard Dragon, Black Siren, and Anatoly, the Russian type thing from Lian Yu. So that was interesting with that, dealing with that storyline and having that. And then we get that leads into the Black Canary and Black Siren fight, which we get a first one, and then we get another one later, which was interesting. The first one, it was, there was not much screaming. There was like really dodging each other's scream. It would have been cool to see them kind of actually just a long shot of them just going at it with their screams and just kind of hitting, like actually see it hit each other, and see how powerful could it be, if they really went all out. They screamed so much that they just passed out from exhaustion type thing. They just scream until they can't, until they lose their voice type thing, and they or something. That would be really cool to see that part, if we ever get something like that. So that was cool, that storyline. And then we see William leaves the bunker. That was kind of interesting. And we see that he shows up at the meetup where Kate and James is, and where Kate and James is having Oliver and everyone show up with Black Siren and the 3 other guys from his criminal teammates and stuff. So that was interesting with that, and it kind of sets up some stuff later on at the end, where it kind of seems like William wants to be more involved, or at least be out on the field. And I think this is a good idea. Obviously, he's nowhere near ready to do that type of thing, but I think it could be a setup to him, to Oliver, maybe kind of saying, okay, if you want to be out there, I'm going to have to train you, and then when you're ready, you'll be able to come out and help me do this. Just just to appease William, to kind of to make him satisfy him by, if I train you, then you could come out with me, and then William could be out there to try and protect Oliver too, and trying to help him make sure he comes home every time. So I think that's a cool idea, because William right now feels kind of useless and kind of helpless as he just sits there with Felicity in the bunker just watching on the screens. He's not able to help or anything like that. But if he was trained by Oliver, eventually he could go out, which could then help him help him out in the field type thing. I think that could be really cool to see that, and it also would help Oliver knowing that William can handle himself type thing, not just relying on Reza type thing. Because if Oliver has to leave or William with Reza, she's not going to really do much to anyone, any of Richard Dragon's goons or Keaton James' goons or anyone type thing. So it's really going to be fun to see where things go with that. I would like to see some sort of team up with that, some sort of training. I think it would be really fun to see that. To see William start training and start learning how to do things. I think if he learns it now, I think it really could be cool to see where he ends up later on, where things go. So it's really going to be fun to see where things go with that in the William storyline. That's where I'm really interested to see. I can't wait to see. Maybe he'll take up the Red Arrow costume since Thea is not using it right now. Which, again, Thea, I would love to see her go over to Legend of Tomorrow, because she's kind of like useless in here. She doesn't really do much. She sometimes helping Quentin with the Black Siren storyline. But even this, she wasn't really doing much. She was just kind of babysitting William when he wasn't in the bunker type thing, and even that, she failed at doing that type thing when she was in the bunker. I don't know. It was just she was not really being useful. She's not important to this storyline right now. She hasn't been important for a while. So it's just like, why not just send her over to Legends? Send her with Kid Flash. I know you got Kid Flash being added to the Legends, but send her over too. Let her go time travel, meet some new stuff, learn some new things, all kinds of stuff. I think that could be really cool to see that, and I definitely would love to see her over on Legends. I think it'd be great to see that. And then the next part we got was to get the Black Siren confesses to killing Kid and James' son, which he doesn't see that coming out at all. She doesn't buy that whatsoever, and then her collar breaks off, and she sets off and stuff and starts breaking her way out, which was interesting to see that. I would have liked to have seen her maybe kind of scream at it, the building, maybe start bringing the building down. Was kind of cool with that. And then we get the Black Siren get shot by Dinah, and I was like, oh my god, are they going to kill her off? Which I was hoping that they wouldn't. I was glad they really didn't kill her off in this season, this show, because I really hate to see Black Siren die off type thing. Although I don't want to see her redeemed, which seems like that's what they're doing with after she got shot. Later, next time we see her is with Quentin in the car type thing. He's taking care of her, and I get that idea, but it just seems like they're going way too fast with that. I want to see him maybe try and teach her, try and bring her back type thing, try and make her good, but I don't want to see her good until, maybe season 6 now, maybe season 8 at the earliest type thing. I really do not want to see her on that path, so I really can't wait to see what's going to happen with this, going into season 7, going for the rest of the season. Where do we end off with that storyline with Black Siren and her redeeming? Like she said herself, she likes being who she is. She doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to be, Quentin's Laurel. And that's not what we want. I don't want her to turn into Laurel. But I mean, to redeeming herself and then pretty much basically being Laurel, another version of Laurel, I don't think it's what I would really want from the storyline. Rather see her, keep her as a villain for as long as we can, and then make her redeemed after she's been so bad for so long type thing. I think that's really where things go, because we need to break people more rather than just this is her first season on Arrow type thing. So we need to see like at least another 1 or 2 seasons of her as a villain, and then slowly giving her the slowly redeeming her. Then I think it's a bit too early to start right now. So that was great, interesting with that storyline. So it'll be fun to see where that goes. And then we get Richard Dragon visits Kid and James in custody at the police station, and and he proceeds to kill Kid James after telling him that he was the one who killed his son type thing, which doesn't really explain as to why he did it. I guess he wanted to use Kid James for his own purposes, and he wants to take over the city, and that's why he did it. So it was all a setup for a long time. So it seems like a long way of going. A lot of coincidences that Richard Dragon had to rely on the fact that Caden James would react the right way and do this and follow things out. If he didn't, he didn't blame Oliver, didn't blame the Green Arrow, then everything would have went all awry type thing. So, I don't know. It's kind of weird the way things go with that, but we'll have to wait and see where things go with the Richard Dragon, how he continues on for the rest of the season when we come back. So all in all, it looks kind of cool, and then we get another episode next week, and when we return, where it's going to be Team Arrow versus the new team, the Outsiders, whatever I'm going to call them. But it's really going to be fun to see where things go with all that, and how where does how the things are going to go with the whole team dynamic with the we have team versus team, and not fighting in the next episode. It looks kind of interesting, but at the same time, it feels like it's kind of a filler episode, but it's kind of not. It's dealing with the whole team. It is interesting. I'm not sure if I kind of really like this whole storyline, or if I'm annoyed. Not really annoyed of it, but I'm not really kind of super digging this. This team versus this in fight between the teams. It doesn't really it's not really super exciting, but it's not really annoying me. So it's kind of just like meh. It's just kind of there, for me in there. I kind of would like to see someone like a third party come in here and kind of give their 2 cents and have that be the part that brings them all together. Like someone like the Flash could come over, they cross over with the Flash again, or someone else from the Flash, or someone from the Legends comes over for an episode and stays here. I think that would be cool. I could see someone like Barry Allen himself. I could see him being lighthearted and all that stuff, and him being always positive. And him coming over and just being like laying down the law and being like, hey, bringing all of his positive vibes and kind of showing everyone that it's not too bad, and explaining to everyone, and that bringing everyone together. I can see that happening. It also would be cool with someone else like the Atom. I think Ray Palmer. He's always has that lighthearted attitude, that lightheartedness and positive attitude. I could see him coming over and bringing the two teams together. The problem with that is because they're so busy on their own shows, it would only ever happen for like one episode, and you couldn't have all of this resolve in one episode. It's gone too far now for it to resolve up in one episode. So that's the thing. It wouldn't happen. But maybe they could get a riling speech or something. Or maybe another thing they could do is keep the two teams separate, the fraction between the teams separate, have the two separate teams from now until the end of the season, going into next season. Then during the next crossover, during season 7 of Arrow's next crossover, then you have them come together. The next crossover is so big, so bonkers, and requires everyone to come together and help so much that they have to come together, and that's where they get that speech. They get a speech from someone for like different characters, and then you have a crossover again where different characters get the opinion on their team dynamics, team problems from the Legends. Get the Legends opinion on that. Get different characters' opinion, or maybe if someone like Constantine comes over on Legends, it becomes a legend, new Legend for next season, which fingers crossed that he does become a permanent member for the next season. I think it could be cool to get his opinion on this, see what he thinks of all of that, and about just the strife between that and how his opinion on that. I think that could be cool. So it really is going to be fun to see where this goes with this between the team. But like I said, it's nothing super duper interesting. I just would love to see it. If it does continue on, keep it. I would keep it all the way until next season's crossover to have the Legend teams and the Flash teams fix it all together and have it all resolved during the crossover. I think that could really be cool to see that. Since there is a lot more lighthearted people, a lot more people who just want to get along type of thing over on the Flash and on Legends. I think that could be cool to bring that in with this and have that third party as opinion just be like, yes, it happened, get over it, move on. You guys are the team. We need you guys together type thing. I think that could be really cool to see that, where things go with that and how long we really hold on to this storyline type thing. So all in all, it's going to be fun to see where things goes. Definitely can't wait to see how things end up with all this. Definitely can't wait to see where things turn out. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 6, episode 13. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.